So bringing your full attention to your body's position. Feeling your whole body lying on the floor. And if you were here early in class, you saw that my quote today said, "Remember to take care of yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup." And if you're here today, you are doing just that. You are taking care of yourself. You're filling up your cup so that you can do whatever you need to do. Fill all of your responsibilities, personal and otherwise. And this is something that you will need to keep in mind your entire life. I mean, you signed up for this class, you're supposed to be here 2 times a week. So obviously this is a scheduled period of filling up your cup. But when you don't have this class, what do you do? What are you going to do if you're not already doing something to take care of yourself? So as you're laying in Shavasana right now and you're scanning your body, noting your energy level, noting how your body feels, just taking a moment to notice why your energy is the way it is. Are you really low because you didn't sleep well last night? And have you not been taking care of yourself? Or are you just feeling just at one with everything and you're feeling very physically energized, mentally calm? Just noting what is sought as we move into this practice. So that if there is something that you need, if you need energy, you need some balance, that you'll be able to check if anything's changed, so that after this semester, you can maybe take other yoga classes, or you'll take some of the tools that you learned in this class and you'll be applying them throughout your day. So getting an overall sense now of your physical well-being and checking with your mental self. We are starting the 13th week of class, and you've made it this far, and you're going to make it the last 3 weeks of classes, and you'll make it through finals. But how are you feeling mentally because of that? And it's very common to feel very mentally drained, which is why you need to do some physical movement. That helps. It helps calm the mind. It helps balance out the energies of the body, of both the mind and of the mental sort. So putting a pin in how you feel mentally, and see if anything changes with that as well between now and the end of class. Bring the attention to your breath. Connecting to the breath. Know that you know you're breathing. This simple practice is very powerful. It can be done anywhere at any time. With the awareness firmly fixed on the natural breath, begin to deepen the breath. Begin to breathe fully and deeply so that the whole body expands and contracts with each deep breath. Breathing in what is needed to get you through the day, the week, the rest of the semester, whatever that is. And with each exhalation, releasing anything that's holding you back. Anything that's getting in your way. Please take 3 more deep, mindful breaths in this way. And then release control of your breath. Bring the awareness back into your body. Back to the floor beneath you. And then slowly begin to release your posture. Making your way up and over to a seated position. The animals are out in full force and you are not alone. I can see many of you have so many friends helping you. Really talk about letting go of what goes on the outside. You have a pet with you when you're trying to practice yoga, you are working at a completely different level. All right. So sitting up nice and tall. I hope everyone's had a great weekend. And by a show of hands, how many of you did some kind of yoga since I last saw you? Something. Good. All right. All right. So we've got just a couple of Pawanmuktasana ones, the anti-rheumatic joint mobility movements. We got a couple new things today, and then we'll end up with Brahmari, which is the humming bee breath, and Antarmon. Okay. So we're going to start with ankle crank. So sitting up nice and tall in base position, bend your right knee, bring your right shin over your left thigh, grab hold of your toes. Your left toes are pointing straight up and you're sitting up nice and tall. Go ahead and 7 times crank that ankle around, really pulling the toes back, trying to get a nice range of motion. I started noticing that I had plantar fasciitis or bone spur. I'm not sure if it's the same thing or not. I'm sure some of you have had that before. It's horrifying. And I had it really bad years and years ago. And I felt the twinge of it this morning when I got out of bed. And I practice yoga regularly. You'd think my feet would be stretched out. But I immediately, when I went down to my mat, I started working on some of these feet movements. So if any of you, if any of that, in your heel when you walk hurts, then you should be doing this in bed before you even step out onto the floor. So really bending the foot, getting a nice range of motion in the ankle and all throughout the arch of the foot. Bringing the knee into your chest once you finish 7 in each direction. Stretch your leg out. Notice the difference between the right foot and ankle compared to the left. And I'm pausing there for effect because I really want you to notice, I look at my leg and it looks like it's literally this much longer. I don't know how yours feels, but mine feels different. So go ahead and bring your left knee in, left ankle across your right thigh, sit up nice and tall, 7 times. Keep really working on your posture. Let that be secondary, obviously, actually compared to the awareness you're bringing to your ankle, but you should keep thinking about sitting up nice and tall. Bring your knee in, stretch your leg out, feel from your left foot and ankle to the right. And then moving on to half butterfly. So we continue to work on opening up our hips so we can sit comfortably. Starting with your right side, so bringing your right knee in, bringing your right foot to the inside of your left thigh or on top of. Remember, some of you have that flexibility to do that. Most of you do not. So decide what feels best for you. 15 times. Inhale, exhale, gently press down. Inhale up, exhale down. Bringing as much awareness as you can to what you're doing. Remembering that it's not a waste of time to be doing this, even though this is a simple movement. The more awareness you can bring to it, the more you're going to get out of it, and the more you give your mind something to do. So we always go I just like to think about stuff. I always look at my husband. He's always staring off into space, and I'm like, wait, I'm just thinking. What are you thinking about? Oh, just I like to think. Okay, but sometimes we think too much. We have too many thoughts and they're so repetitive, most of them. Some of them are so unserving. But if you just go, okay, right now, I'm only thinking about bringing my knee up, bringing my knee down. And I'm thinking about how my hip is becoming flexible. And now all that other stuff is shut off for a little bit. there's quiet, at least for a couple seconds, until it starts up again. About 5 more or so. And then bring your knee into your chest, stretch your leg out. Feel from the right side to the left. And move to the left side, bring the left knee in, and then out. Again, sit up again, because we forget. We do this like within seconds, at least I know I do. Right toe should be up, pointing up 15 times. And after you've finished 15 on the left, bring your knee in, stretch your leg out. And now I know we haven't worked on this, and I don't expect you to be able to do this, and I don't want you to hurt your knees. But the reason we're working on this is so that you can do eventually full lotus pose. Can anyone do full lotus pose? Take your right foot, place it up on your thigh, take your left foot, place it up on the opposite thigh. This is what we're going for. And if it tweaks your knees, stop. Don't do it. But this is what you're working on. So, even as we're practicing today, when we go into our practice of on Tormone, some of you can start bringing one foot up. That's the starting point. Just you bring one foot up. And eventually you bring the other foot up. Now, I think I've told you, I don't sit like that because I'm just not there. I can do it for maybe 10 minutes and then it just takes all my attention. But that's why we're doing these, so that eventually you can sit. And if not in full lotus, that you can at least sit cross-legged and not be uncomfortable. So just reminding you of the purpose of what we're doing. So to continue that flexibility, we're going to do hip rotation. So bring the right knee in, cradle your foot in your left hand, and underneath your knee, take your right hand 7 times. Nice big circle. If holding your foot like this torques your knee, then you could do this. Or remember that, I think at least one time this semester, we did this one lying down. Go ahead and lie down. You're in your own house. Do whatever you want. This is a good one to do in the bed in the morning. It's achieving the same goal. So if you're hurting your knees or your hips doing this, you don't need to sit up. Okay, so 7 times in each direction. Opposite leg is straight. If you can keep it that way, toes pointing up. Awareness to the hip. And then realigning the knee once you finish, 7 in each direction. Stretch the leg out. Feel the difference between the right side and the left side. Bend the left knee. Cradle the left leg in your hands. 7 times. How many of you are thinking of your hip right now? Think of your hip. All right. Finishing up the 7th one in the opposite direction. Bring your knee in, stretch your legs out, feel through those hips. All right, neck rotations. So keeping your legs extended if that feels good to you. Otherwise, cross your legs. And starting just with that small circle. So you can close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Small circle, making a bigger circle. Relaxing your shoulders. If there's any discomfort, make the circle small again. Next time your chin drops down, bring your head back to the center and start that circle in the opposite direction. Small circle at first. And then making it bigger as it's comfortable for you. The next time your chin drops, bring your head back up. And then if your eyes aren't closed, just close them briefly. And just feel through your body from those few movements we did for the ankles, the hips, and the neck. And we're going to be doing a couple new things today. The first one is more of a classical posture. It is tiger pose. It builds on what we've done with the cat-cow. It looks like this. Okay, so come on to table. Oh, we have a kitty friend. I thought I locked the door, but apparently not. Hello, Oscar. So hands directly underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingertips out. Elbows are slightly bent. So begin with the right side. Pull your belly button up. So notice if your belly's relaxed. Go ahead and engage your core. Inhale your right leg straight out behind you. Now, when you do that, you want to make sure your hips are in the same line. Notice if you're twisting, there's a tendency to twist. Keep stretching those right toes behind you, and you feel it in the low back. On your next exhalation, go ahead and bend your right knee and touch your toe to your head. Now, go ahead, come on, get your toe to your head. I'm just kidding, because I'm never going to get it in this lifetime. Go ahead and stretch your leg back out again. Inhale. Exhale, round your back, bring your nose towards your knee. Now, towards your knee, you don't need to touch it, but if you can, great. It's probably more likely than your toe to your head. On your next in-breath, stretch back out again, leg straight. Exhale, bend the knee, toe towards your head, looking up. That doesn't hurt your neck. Inhale, straighten, your head comes back to a neutral position. Exhale, round your back, really pull the belly button up toward the spine. Nose toward your knee, wherever it can get to, it's fine. Inhale, straighten back. Relax your shoulders, relax the elbows. Little bend in them. Exhale, bend your knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, round your back. Nose towards your knee. Knee comes in. Feel a crunch in your abs. 4 more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend the knee. Look forward or up. Inhale, straighten the leg, pointing the leg behind you. Exhale, round your back. Feel that crunch as you bring the knee toward your nose. Inhale, straighten. 3 more. Exhale, bend your knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, round your back. Go ahead and do your last one, and then press back into child's pose. Good. So quickly shifting the hips back, feeling through the whole right side. So not just the back, but feeling through the right side of the abdomen, the right hip, glute, etc. Then come back up. We got the other side. Reposition your hands. Make sure your fingertips are spread. Mound of the index fingers down. Elbows are slightly bent, grabbing the ground. Belly button's pulled up. Left leg now. Inhale, straighten that left leg and hold it out. So relax your shoulders down. Stretch the left toes out. Make sure your hips are in the same line. Exhale. On your next exhalation, bend your knee and see if you have any luck on this side. Any luck? Is your toe hitting your head yet? No. All right, that's okay. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, round your back, nose towards your knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend, look up or forward, whatever feels better in your neck. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, round. Inhale, straighten. Really stretch the leg. Exhale, bend. Notice any difference. I have an injury on this side that always shows up when I do this. Like I always remember the injury. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, straighten. Number 4. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, round the back. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straighten that leg and stretch the toes. Exhale, round the back. Pull the belly button toward the spine. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend at the knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, round the back. Last one. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, round the back. Bring the knee down. Press back into child's pose. Rest your head down on the mat. Maybe bring the arms behind you if your arms need a break. Feeling through the left side of the back, abdomen, hip, glute. That's definitely a strength building pose. Many of you have probably done some variation, maybe not the bending part, but where you've lifted your leg if you've done any kind of back therapy. All right, so coming up for a moment so you can see me. So we had been working on the modified sun salutation, and I had told you that we're going to be working on the pieces parts of the full sun salutation. So that starts today. So for the last 2 weeks, we've been doing in the middle part of sun salutation, we've been doing cow, cat, mountain, or mountain to cow, cat, and then mountain, okay? But going forward, we're going to be doing mountain. Well, not today, but we will be going. We're working toward 8-point, cobra to mountain. And that's not easy. It takes a decent amount of flexibility and even more upper body strength. Okay, so we're going to work on an exercise that's going to help us. We're going to work on mountain pose to 8-point pose. So 8-point pose looks like this. So you're going to be in mountain. Just watch first. You're going to come onto your toes and you're going to drop straight down like you're almost doing a table position. Knees come down. You're going to take your chin and you're going to aim for the right beyond your fingertips. Now it's called 8-point pose because I got 8 points down. 2 feet, 2 knees, 2 hands, that's 6, a chest and a chin. From here, in the normal context of sun salutation, you'd come through cobra, but not today for us. We're gonna go from here. You're gonna exhale like you're doing a push-up, and you're gonna push back. So it's gonna be knees, chest, chin, push up, push back. And for some of you, it's gonna be really hard. Your feet are gonna wanna fly up. So you're gonna keep your feet down. Let's just see what happens, all right? And oh, by the way, if being on the floor bothers you, you could go mountain, push up, mountain, okay? And if you don't want to put any weight on your wrists, then you can just do mountain on the wall, okay? Otherwise, you're in table position, and you're going to try this 7 times. Spread your fingertips. Grab the ground. Roll your toes under. Inhale your hips up. Exhale back. And let's just hang out here, stretching out the back of our body for about 30 seconds. So just hang out in mountain, let your head hang between your arms, press your hips back, do whatever you want, take the feet wide, walk them up and down, whatever. A few more seconds. All right, take a deep breath in and then out. Now, come onto the toes. Drop down, knees straight down. Keep your toes down, aim your chin for just beyond your fingertips. Check to see you've got 8 points down and you feel a little bit ridiculous. If you do, you're doing it right. On your next exhalation, grab the ground and press yourself up, back to table, back into mountain. And again, come onto the toes. Knees come straight down. Aim your chin right beyond your fingertips. And we all have different sized torsos, so it might be closer or further for some of you. Exhale, press up, press back. That's 2. Onto the toes. Knees, chest comes down. You've got 8 points down. Chin is just beyond the fingertips. Engage your core as you push up. Feel the strength building in your arms. And then back again. On your toes, knees, chest, chin. Exhale up. Now, if you're finding that there's no way you can get off the ground, maybe you're just going knees, chest, and you're coming halfway and doing a mini push-up but not putting your chin down. That's okay too. Go ahead and finish 2 more at your own pace. Feel all 8 points down and pressing yourself up and back. And when you're finished, press back into child's pose. Bring your arms behind you. Rest your head on the mat. Give your arms a break. And your heart rate's probably gone up a little bit. Now this exercise in itself is almost more difficult than doing 8 point in the context of sun salutation. But I found that if we work on it this way, you start to build the strength and you start to get a really good 8 point pose, because most people kind of blow through that part of sun salutation and they're not getting the full benefits of that pose. So just sitting up for one moment. So for some of you, depending on your upper body strength, you might need to work on some modified push-ups. And this is not just the women that are on the call. This is the men too, because modified push-ups used to be called girl push-ups. But I'm going to tell you what, I've worked with enough men and to know that and I say men, mostly younger, teens, that really need to do the modified push-ups so they have good form. So I encourage you, if you're having trouble pushing up, just working on this, pulling your core in, so that when you go to do a full push-up, and that's tough, even tough for me, you have decent form. So many people, if you watch people do push-ups, it's horrific. And some of you are probably exercise science majors, or you're athletes, and you've got teammates that just are atrocious. And it's because they've always it's either been done as a punishment or they just don't have the awareness. So with all of yoga, the more awareness you can bring and the better you can do each pose individually, the more you're going to get out of it. So I encourage you to work on your upper body strength for these poses and just for your life, for regular activities of daily living. All right, enough of that. So you should feel like your arms are getting a little stronger. So we're going to go ahead and come up to a standing position through mountain pose. So make your way up, slowly rolling up. And the next pose we're going to do, which is really going to be the last pose we're doing today, it's called Dynamic Energy Pose, and it's one of the Pawanmuktasana 3 poses. So we did that one pose, I think, where we went down and came up and went down. I can't think of which, squat and rise pose. I think we did squat and rise. So this is along the same line. So some of you, if you have bad knees, I want you to really back off if it hurts. And you might need to make other modifications as well. So let me show you what it looks like. So ideally, my back would be completely straight. And then my third trip down, my heels are down, my butt is all the way down. I'm not quite totally vertical. And I can come back up again. Okay, so you're going to make your way down incrementally. So my arms, I have my hands, like you can't see because the camera, I'm like this. Some of you, if you have really tight shoulders, you might want to be like this. That's okay too. All right, so we're going to work our way down. And when your knees start to hurt or you feel your heels coming up, you need to stop where you're at, okay? So bring your feet together. So your feet need to be pretty close for this one, which makes it a little bit more difficult. And these Pawanmuktasana 3 energy block postures help to reduce energy blockages on the spine and the hips. So this is a hip opener. So go ahead and clasp your hands. Inhale the arms straight up. So for some of you, you're like, oh wow, my shoulders and chest is tight. Are tight. So go ahead, if you have to, bring your hands apart. That's fine. Take another breath in. Exhale, come down, I don't know, like a third of the way. And just hold. Keeping the feet together. The back is still, my back is pretty much, my shoulders are over my hips still. My heels are down, so press your heels down. You might feel a little shaking in your quads, I don't know. And your next in-breath, come up, straighten up. Exhale, come down to the next harder point, which may be pretty much the end for some of you, because I can feel it right now. Like I'm feeling a lot more burn in my quads. Some of you are probably, your heels are coming up. So this might be the end. This might be your last, this might be as far down as you can go. Inhale, come back up. Now, some of you might have the flexibility, because it's really about flexibility. The next one is about being as flexible as you can, coming all the way down or to whatever point you can, where your knees are together, your back is relatively straight, You don't have pain in your knees, and your bottom is as close to the floor as possible. From here, inhale, come up. Exhale your arms down. We're gonna do that one more time, but only that third one, don't come all the way down if you have any pain in your knees or your heels coming up. Just work on the strength in the quads and slowly getting the flexibility. So feet back together, clasp your hands, inhale up.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
How far apart are my feet supposed to be? Like, are they?
Yeah, they're actually supposed to be touching.
Oh, okay.
Like if you can see my feet are pretty close, okay? Yeah, good question. So sorry, everybody take another breath in. Exhale, come down just a little bit. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down a little bit more. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down to your furthest point. Inhale, come up. Exhale down. We're gonna do one more like that, just that quick. Okay, and you can work on multiple breaths to build the strength.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Are your feet supposed to be all the way on the ground, or can you be on your toes?
Nope. Your feet are supposed to be, your heels are supposed to be down. That's what I'm saying. So like throughout, you'll see my feet. Yeah, because that's the thing, is that most of us don't have the flexibility, and we want to do this. So your feet should be, heels are completely down throughout. Okay, so just come to the point where you can keep your heels down, and slowly but surely you'll get the flexibility. Okay, relax your arms again if you had your arms up. Okay, last one. So inhale, arms up, feet together. Exhale, come down a little bit, and just hold. We'll hold this one for 2 breaths. Inhale, press through the heels, come up. Exhale, come down to the next lowest point. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, come up. Come down to your lowest point, and do not be in pain. Wherever you feel challenged and you know you've got the best form possible, that might be here, it might be higher up. And your next in-breath, come up, bring your arms down, shake them out. Come into a standing base position or a standing Shavasana for a moment, because we're going to come right into a seated pose. So just feel through your body after dynamic energy pose, mountain pose to 8-point, because you're like super strong now and you're feeling really buff. So notice how that feels. Feel your upper body, your chest, just any energetic, physical or mental energetic changes from the beginning of class until now that we've completed the asana portion of class. And then come down and have a seat. 15 minutes, all right. So we are going to do 5 rounds of Brahmari, which is the humming bee breath. And then we're going to go right into a 3-stage Antar-Mon practice. It's going to be a quick one because we only have 15 minutes till the end of class, okay? So please organize yourself so that you don't have to move between the pranayama and Antar-Mon. Now, with the Antar-Mon, I ask you to stay seated because this is a practice where there's more silence. Just like Kaya Sterium, there's more silence. And unlike Yoga Nidra, which is constantly guided, there's a voice. When there's silence, it's easy to fall asleep. But if you're having a lot of trouble sitting up, then lie down for Antar-Mon. It's okay to do that once in a while. Sometimes I practice lying down, but usually I fall asleep. So I try mostly to do it from a seated position. So if after we do Brahmari, because Brahmari does need to be done seated, you want to lie down, lie down. It's up to you. So organize yourself in a comfortable seated position. And those of you who are not here for Brahmari, I will explain the humming bee breath. So we're going to occlude our ears and we're going to inhale and hum 5 times with our hands, with our fingers in our ears and our hands resting on our heads. So go ahead and organize yourself, lightly close the eyes. And just feel the whole physical space of your body. Feel the floor beneath you. Adjusting your body for comfort. And once you're relatively still, shift the focus to the natural breath. Noticing how you're breathing. The quality of the breath. Noting any changes from the beginning of the class when we took our first few mindful breaths until now. And we'll begin the practice of Bhramari 5 rounds by bringing the hands in position, taking the thumbs, bringing them up to that flappy part on either side of the head by the ears there, and pressing that into the ear lightly as you open up the elbows, resting the fingertips on your head. Begin the practice by taking a deep breath in, keeping the mouth closed, exhale and hum the breath out. And after 5 breaths, bringing the hands back down to the knees or your lap. Keeping the eyes closed and noting any tranquilizing effects. This is a tranquilizing practice. It's very helpful to do prior to going to bed at night. If you have trouble sleeping in the middle of the night, it's good when you are needing to concentrate. It's an excellent breathing practice to do prior to meditation. Just noting any relaxing or tranquilizing effects from those 5 breaths. And if you need to make any adjustments to your posture, do so now as we move into our meditation practice of Antarmon for the last 10 minutes of class or so. So feeling the body again, shifting the awareness from the breath and how you feel from that practice to the body once again. Feeling the contact points between your body and the floor. Be aware of the whole physical space of your body and the support for the floor beneath you. Feel the whole body becoming steady and still. And within that relative stillness of the body, notice the gentle movement of the breath. With each mindful breath, the body is becoming more and more relaxed. preparing for the practice of inner silence. Beginning with stage 1, awareness of the external sensory perceptions. Begin to listen for the sounds around you. Making an effort to listen for soft and loud sounds, hearing each sound with 3-part awareness. Be aware of the sound, aware of the ears, aware of the mind's perception, being the witness to all 3. Be aware of the sound, be aware of the ears, be aware of the mind's perception, and move to the next. Move from sounds to touch. The sensation of touch, whatever's touching the skin. Be aware of the sensation of touch. Be aware of the sensation. Be aware of the skin. Be aware of the mind's perception. Detached witness. Be a detached witness. Not affected by any of the sensations. Be aware of all the sensations in the head only. Becoming aware of the line of contact between the lips, where the eyelids touch, the breath in the nostrils. Be aware of any sensations now in the neck or torso. Be aware of the sensation, the skin, and your perception. Be aware of any sensations in the right and left arm. Be aware of any sensations in the legs. Now let go of any sensations and any external perceptions and go inward to the spontaneous flow of thoughts. Allow the thoughts to flow past. See a thought and let it go. Not thinking, just watching, observing any thoughts that may arise. With detached awareness, see every thought as an impartial witness. Be the witness. Now let go of the spontaneous flow of thoughts and create a thought. It can be any thought. Bring that thought to the forefront of your mind and look at that thought from all angles and viewpoints, not only your own. Now let that thought go, let it go completely, and bring to mind a happy thought, a positive situation. And again, spend some time contemplating that thought. Now let that thought go. Let it go completely. And bring the awareness back to the external sensory environment. Let go of the inner awareness and bring the awareness back to the external sensory perceptions. Listening once again to the sounds around you. Moving the awareness from one sound to the next. Being aware of the external environment. Being aware of your room, your position within it, and feel your whole body and the support beneath you. Connecting once again with the physical space of your body and the support beneath you, being aware of the position of your hands resting on your knees or in your lap. Full awareness of your body. Shift the attention to the breath again, connecting to the breath. Full awareness of the breath. Take a deep breath in and out, ending the practice of inner silence by slowly releasing your posture, sitting cross-legged, bringing one knee in and then the other. And only opening the eyes when you're ready, maybe after practicing palming. Slowly acclimating yourself to the room around you. And there you go. Just a minute late. All right, so you did a good job. You filled your cup up today. You came to class, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday for our 5th to last class. We only have 5 classes left. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Stick around if you have questions. See you Wednesday.